Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here this morning. I'm testing out some of my settings here. I'm just doing some forward testing this morning. Took off this morning. So I did go live into the room this morning. Decided to do some forward testing. Spent a lot of time last night back testing my settings here. Put some filters on CoPilot here. What we're looking at right now, we're kind of extended to the downside. Just looking at the lower B4 right here, it usually goes to about a -3 on this cycle. We see we got to one of our supports here. That was our virgin point of control with our footprint. It's one of the new features on our footprint chart that was coming from way over here. Zoom out a little bit. Anyway, showing where that came from. Price is moving pretty fast this morning. We've already come from down here. Up here, I'm at 219. So price typically cycles from -3 on the lower B4. Continuations and rejections are typically at 0. Then when you break over your 0 line, you get to a +2 typically on the upside. Zoom in there so we can see our footprint. We can see the internal, what's happening at each level. We have our L2 profile right here. That's our level 2, showing us resting orders, major orders, so we can see what immediate possible support and resistance is as price plays out. This is our CVD line. This is one of our newer indicators telling you the cumulative volume, metric delta in the market, and mostly buyers in play right now. Pushing up to the VWAP. Notice where it stopped out here, where our virgin points of control are. Very prominent levels. We keep an eye on them when we trade. This is our L2 footprint, our footer. We got divergences on top, level 1. On this row, level 2. On the latter row, overall volume on the bottom. You can see we're using our B4 bars here, 210 bars, Unirenco style. So I can keep an eye on price action. I use a 3-minute chart, 3-minute candles. I use Ichimoku. Came down to our first target. It's a little rough, gotta get leveled out there. It came down to our first target that we anticipated. We're currently under the cloud, under VWAP. If we can get over the cloud and over the VWAP, we'll be more bullish. Right now, Chico is still in the candles, under the candles, so it's undecided really. As far as Ichimoku analysis, we need to wait and get on one side of the cloud or the other, one side of the Kijun
order filled
or the other. Alright, here it goes. It got us into our settings here, got us into a bearish move. I'm at the edge of my pattern here. That's right at our virgin point of control as well. I probably should have went ahead and already pulled that down instead of talking, but you can't talk and trade at the same time, narrate and trade typically at the same time. I should have gone ahead and locked that in, because it doesn't look like it's going to be that high probability of a trade, so I'll just make it pay for itself. Let's watch how it dances there. Okay, it took me out. Just because of our pattern here and what we've been seeing, that's what my expectation of that was. So I don't just totally rely on the system. I let it take its trades, but I manage those trades with risk management. From my experience of trading. That particular instance, I saw that, hey, we're probably going to hit the edge of that. Yeah, there was some movement in the price that triggered that entry, but I need to use some discretion. And that's what I did. I saw that I was at support. I utilized the opportunity, let it pay for itself, move on. Now again, I am just forward testing today. I'm in sim mode. That's why I kind of chimed in here, wanted to do a live to show you the system. We've got a lot of things happening with B4. We are behind the scenes working on a lot of indicators and steadily improving our products always. You can see we've come a long way from the free B4 indicator, our flagship indicator that we first started. We came out with our algo system. Our B4 algo system, and now we have our B4 CoPilot and our B4 footprint, which is leading the way right now, really helping a lot of our traders. It's so flexible. It is a complete automated system with professional industry grade signals with using order flow. The engine is so versatile. Of course, it has all the options you can imagine. The risk management system and the trader system, all the different ways you could place orders on your chart, manage your trade, break even. I could break even right now. I'm already there. I could, flatten all, close position. I could buy put a resting order below here if I want to add to this trade. Real simple like
Order
that
submitted.
right there. Super nice. Then you have all these different filters you have that we can utilize. Another thing that's so great about our system,
filled.
not only are we stuck to just using the signals that we have in the, so like right there, I lost my order. Hey, you know, no problem.
Order
Put a
submitted.
stop loss in there real quick.
Order filled.
All right. So there's a demonstration on how we use that. But guys, what I was saying is we have it to where you can add your own chart indicator. Let's say that you have a favorite strategy that you use. You may have a combination of indicators that you typically use. Well, you can add those to this chart. We have an API snippet that you can easily insert into your indicator and make it to where our actual CoPilot Pro will utilize its signal. I'm actually using that right there. Chart indicators, you'll see one of our signals is chart indicators. Well, one of our filters is indicators. That filter right there, indicators filter, you may just have a SMA or something, or a VWAP, and you only want to take bearish under VWAP or bullish above VWAP. Well, okay, that would work there with the indicators. Or maybe you have an indicator that has a signal. You can see, can't really see it as well on this chart, but over here you'll see that arrow right there. That's represented there. I kind of put that as a standalone here on this chart, so you can see that. Boom, there it is right there. That is indicative to this. That is actually this indicator over here. There's the yellow line, there's the red line right here, there's the midline, and there is the signal. That was we got in here, but that was another signal that would have gotten us in there. But what it does is it actually allows you to put your own indicator. You may have an indicator or a strategy that you're used to that hey, I like it, but I would like to have that power of having confluence with actual orders hitting the tape from a professional standpoint. Well, here you go. B4 CoPilot gives you that opportunity. Improve your strategy. If you have a good strategy, you want to put these filters, put these, right now I have at least one signal. So what will happen right now is the way that I have it set up, I have these filters here. These filters, proprietary. This is L1. This is going to be going in the direction of the majority of the market participants. That's turned on. And then the pivots, that is a proprietary feature that we have, a filter that we have. And so we're only looking for, so it's going to filter all the signals. It's going to filter all these signals except for one. It's not going to filter the chart indicators. The chart indicators is its own independent signal. Now, I probably should have stayed in that trade. We come down here. Notice where we're at right now. We're at our brackets, and then my target is probably right here. You can look here. Look at the L2. Yes, somebody's got their eye right at this level. We go back prior to that, where that come from. That came from, that was a bottom here. Price stopped out there. Didn't quite take it out, but from way back there, that's a virgin point of control on the candle. If you don't know what a virgin point of control is, basically you can come in here and look at our footprint charts. You can see this is a value area. That's the point of control where the most volume was took place in that particular candle. And these are bars. These aren't candles. These are bars. And then a virgin point of control. What I consider a virgin point of control is I even look at the 210 bars here. if there's a point of control or whatever that is covered by the bar, I'm not as particular about it, but I do care about this one. Now, it looks like it's going to push through this one. It's moving pretty heavy there. But we did notice it's slowing down. Yeah, there we go. So our eyes on VWAP on this area right here. I am at a 2.49, so our expectation is to go to probably around 3 is what we're looking for. So right now I would be, normally in my trading, I would be looking for, instead of getting in here and chasing that buy, I'd be looking for the bearish setup. There we go, we're getting extended. We're at 2.95 and we're coming into a squeeze. Typically you'll see a squeeze happen, especially at the end of a move. Not always, sometimes it will be a continuation and it'll push and go further. I mean, we aren't 100% guaranteed anything, but typically I would be looking for a bearish move right now. Now, we have our brackets right here. This is our support, these dotted dots that you see here. That comes from our algo. That's support right there. And this is our typical resistance area. So we've made the expected move. We consider that like an expected move, kind of like you would with options. We kind of consider that the same thing. That's the expected move for this time period that we're in right now. And if you go back and look, yeah, sure enough, that was support. It's probably going to play out to be resistance. Let's see. Now going in here, we got our kind of expectation there with those lines there. If we break through, we could be looking coming up to here. That's going to be 64.10. That would be coming up into here, which is our bear line. See how high this is going to push. It's been pretty aggressive here. Another thing that we have with our system, we could, one thing that I notice a lot of times is we'll get to a 210, but we're on 210 bars. And it can't make up its mind. It starts chopping and chopping, can't make up its mind. One thing you could do, you could buy green, sell red. A lot of times I notice when the candles just sit there for a long time and prices sits at one of these bars for a long time, when it breaks out, it typically breaks out in a good fashion and enough opportunity to lock in some ticks, a couple ticks. So use that for a scalping opportunity. Right now I'd probably prefer to sell red than to buy green, because I'm looking for the bearish setup. So let me go ahead, just for caution, go ahead and set it up that way. See if it's going to do anything. See if we'll get if we get a red bar, it should enter us there. trying to get another chart open. And we're bullish, basically, here. Even though we're extended, Ichimoku is still saying, go bulls, go. And the Kumo twist, and that's from that volatility on the last 3-minute candle. Getting open space. I still got the sell red.
Order filled.
Okay, so I think the sell red is what got me in there, because it clicked out here. Let's see what that. Now that's just a discretionary style trade, guys. Let's see what's going to do. It is really pushing the limits here. We lost our background here with the B4 cloud. You can see the gray candles. We went from bullish candles to gray. We were extended. Now sometimes it'll be that way and it'll pull back a little and continue up and go back and push into the upper threes, but let's see what it's going to do here. That may be what goes on here. Because I do have that opportunity that may do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull that down a little bit. I got my L2 right there. Looks like we got a major seller, got his eye on that level right there, particular level right there. I'm just start a little above that in case that's what's going to happen here. No harm, no foul. I'm pretty good set up here with what I've done this morning already. I think I've had 2 losses, but I use risk management principles on that, try to minimize my losses. Now, of course, again, this was a discretionary decision. To initiate the trade. Ichimoku wise, we are full on bullish. Chikou is right there above the Kumo, above the candles at the Kumo, previous Seiko span B. This candle to close above that for it to really be a true bullish setup. Now, but it's right there on the edge. Let's see what it's going to do. The TK cross on the 3-minute chart is a weak TK cross. It's weak because it's below the Kumo. If it would have happened above the Kumo right here, if it would have happened above the Kumo, it would have been a strong TK cross. If it happens in the Kumo, the TK cross in the Kumo, it would be a neutral strength. So I teach our students in the AMP class, if they're going to scalp and they're using these trades, if they could grade their trades as far as how many lots they put towards these trades according to whether it's weak, neutral, or strong. And particularly, I took this discretionary because I thought that, okay, we are quite extended. And it's maybe a good opportunity to take a little short scout. As you can see, it's fighting here. I want to keep an eye on it. If in fact it pulls back, I think it's going to be a fast pull. So I need to be ready to do something with it. Our show you dots, part of our Ichimoku package, I have it on another chart here. It's showing that our
Order filled.
Okay, that flipped me right there, flipped the trade, got me out, got me in long here. We had a delta divergence, which was right here. Our L1 is showing bullish. Let's see if we get below this right here, it's going to go back bearish. So I'll guard below here, below the value area, right at the value area of this candle here. If we break below that, we're going to go bearish. That'd be my expectation. If we push up, that's probably going to be our resistance area. Buyer stepped in right there. Got a buyer right there in this area. Don't know if he can hold it up or not. There he was again. All right, at this point, I just want to lock it in. I just feel we are exhausted. I mean, it may give a hard push and then flip on us. I just want to lock that in, make sure it's okay. Thinking since we're so light, we're going to hit up here somewhere and it's going to flip hard on us.
Stop filled.
I'm alright getting out right there. This is our mean line right here, this cyan colored line, teal green line right there. That is the mean. What that is where price, it acts like a price magnet. And it's not going up. I'm alright being out of it. I've already been successful on my trades this morning. That's a potential resistance. That mean is a potential resistance. What that is, it's basically like if you are familiar with gas prices being at $2. That's what you consider fair value. Price let's say that price in this case was below $2. It was down here at $1.50. Well, if price ever goes back to being what you expect to be full price, well, you expect full price to be around $2. That's what you recognize price as. Well, in the market here, this is the recognized price. This is what's considered fair value. So typically, if it gets below or above what your average price is, or what you consider to be a fair price, that's where it goes back to. We're getting our KISS dots right here. That is a bearish sign, so I can go ahead and make a discretionary call here and go sell red. I'm going to get off and here and show you this real quick. You can see these dots that we have here. Notice these dots that you'll see on these candles. We use them not necessarily as entrance. I'm going to go ahead and look at it for a bearish entry here. But typically what we use them for is when we're in a position trading. We know not to add to that position. We know to be guarding that position, looking for a take profit. Same thing here. Coming down here, we're looking for a take profit. Going up here, we're looking to take profits. Same thing here. Same thing here. We don't want to get short here. We want to make sure that we're guarding here, guarding behind each one of these candles as it progresses. This here, this was a unique situation. It has to do with these dots have to do with the location of the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen. It's an Ichimoku, a secret Ichimoku technique. So we have some rules that we look at when we're using them. I'm just giving you the general overall. Here we're looking for price to come back and touch the Tenkan-sen here. Let me go ahead and give you the secret. See the TK cross? It's a 926 strategy in Ichimoku. We expect price to come back and touch the Tenkan-sen by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guess what? There it is. We expect the price to come back and touch the Kijun-sen by 26. So we come in here and it already touched it. It's just a rule of thumb, it has already touched. So we're expecting a pullback to the Tenkan-sen and a pullback to the Kijun-sen. Right here, we should be guarding this position, not engaging in a long. I don't re-engage in a long position until we get past those dots. Right now, we're more or less, I'm looking at a counter trend opportunity. I got the cell red turned on. Now again, you may want to take your size down when you do a counter trend trade. Like we may take it down to 3 instead of 6 contracts. That's what we're going to do. I'm spending a little bit of time here this morning just showing you some of our indicators, some of our techniques. Showing you the footprint, the CoPilot. Of course, this is our CoPilot strategy. This is our B4 Footprint Pro. This indicator that you see over here, this is something I'm working on. I'm still developing. It's a Chicow base. It's Ichimoku base indicator. We are extended, but I'll give it a shot. It's been pausing a lot here in this area. I'll give it a shot to the bull sign, thinking it's going to push fast, and I'll have to hurry up and lock in. If we start going bearish, I expect it to be an easier scalp. So if it takes the buy green, I want to be fast on the trigger to guard it, lock it in. And if it takes the sell red here,
Order filled.
I'm expected to have a little bit more lenience and a little bit more room to move. Of course, this was a discretionary trade. I had it with the sell red. It didn't take it because of that. But both of those things, of course, at least that's in my favor there.
Order filled.
So that's the third trade that I lost this morning, I believe. I have it set to where it'll flip me. Right here on opposite signals. And you have the options here to do nothing, to exit, to break even if it can, or to reverse your position. Either way, bullish or bearish here, I'm not in a good position. I just don't like where we're at. We're extended here. I don't like the overall
Stub filled.
place that we're at, so I'm gonna pull in there and make that, get out of this. I don't like where we're at here. B4 is moving sideways. We're at an elevated price, moving back towards the bulls again. Yeah, because of the news or whatever, we're having an extended run, but you know, there's our mean right there. I'm at a place to where, yeah, I don't like where we're at here. We're up high. We're at fair value. Yeah, it could push on up in here, but I'd rather wait and see everything look healthier here on my B4 before I started making other trading decisions. I've really grown accustomed to using the B4 indicator. It's our flagship indicator. It's the first one that we released. I use it every day. Guys, you can get that free if you go to b4indicators.com. You can get that free. It's always free. I'm using it on these B4 Unarenko style candles. Comes with our system. You may find a way to use it on Renko bars. You can use it on any candle type. It's overall telling us bears. See how that midline right there is pointing down? I'm looking for the bearish setup. Now notice here, if we're looking at price here, we started slowing down. The bulls are wearing out. We haven't come back and touched the Kijinsen yet.
Order filled.
I turned on sell red as a discretionary trade. It got me in right away there. Just as I was talking to you guys, I convinced myself that, hey, we're in bearish territory. B4 indicator itself, lower indicator right here, signal right there, bearish potential. My little Ichimoku buddy right here, he's saying, guys, we got some bearish potential right here. This strategy here, I'm below the Tinkerton. I want to stay below the Tinkerton. This strategy here says that we should come back and touch the Kijinsen, which is this gold line here, typically here in a little bit. Now, it's just a rule of thumb. And again, guys, this is counter trend, so probably should have been done with 3 contracts instead of 6. See how it fares out here. Go now, it's safe to lock. Again, this was a discretionary trade.
Stop filled.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for me today. Just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction to our system. Let you see what we're doing here at B4. Guys, we got a great system. This is a fantastic tool. Professional grade signals, all order flow, professional grade signals right there. Beautiful filters. Guys, I didn't even show you the machine learning. We have machine learning. It's not full-fledged AI, and we don't want to be false advertising, so we don't call it AI. But most of the stuff you see in trading, when people are talking about AI, they just have machine learning. They're just try to keep our integrity intact here. It's just simple machine learning. No AI needed. I'm only looking at one tool. I don't need to go look at the whole universe. I'm just looking at the Milky Way galaxy here. No need to go full AI. Just need machine learning. And that's what we're using here with our system. Statistical analysis, basically. Very nice. We can turn on our machine learning and use those signals. I'm just using everything with trending. We have basically regression style trades. We can take regression style trades with our system. We have a way to do auto market to let the system determine whether the market regime is trending or whether it is a choppy situation, and it'll take trades accordingly. I mean, it's a full-on professional grade setup. That's with our CoPilot Pro here, and then we have our B4 Footprint Pro, which gives you the edge of L2. I didn't even go into our L2 filters that we have here. You know, we're using the L1 filter right here, which is right here, going with basically what the retailers are doing in the market. L2 will go down to the market maker and heavy hand participants. Well, what are they doing? And when they both agree, okay, let's go in the direction that they're both agreeing on. Here's a particular thing that Barb found when he was building that. It's called L2 Force, and it's a very powerful signal that he discovered while digging deep into the L2 data. It's a phenomenon that when it happens, it's a very high probability setup. You can have all 3 of those if you would like. Anyway, guys, this is coming back. Look, the Kijunsen's going flat. What do you expect when the Kijunsen goes flat, guys? For price to stop out and return back to the Kijunsen. That's what we're doing. I probably should have held on to that a little longer, but I'm doing more talking right now than I am trading, and I am just forward testing this morning, checking out my settings. This is a new trade setup that I'm working on here, testing. I'm looking at this. There's VWAP. And a pretty good chance we're going to come back and at least touch VWAP, the top of our pattern there, or maybe even come back all the way to the Kijun. That would be using the 926 strategy. We're coming back to the we've come back and touched the Tenkan-sen, but we're below the Tenkan-sen, so maybe the Kijun. One thing to keep in mind too is when the Kijunsen's flat. If we get below the Kijunsen, well, as far as you were above the Kijunsen, you could easily go back to that depth below. Want to see what's going to happen here. Got the edge of the cloud. Getting had a little bit of wicking action there. Looked like it was wanting to do. We're going to see. Was a fast move here. It could be a fast move back down to here. Losing momentum to the downside. Histograms loaded to the bulls. Losing momentum in the bearish move. Why do I say I'm losing momentum in the bearish move? See the width of the bands here? Notice how they're tightening here. So in this particular situation, I'd be looking for a possible Kijunsen bounce. Cheek out still above candles, but I don't really want to get engaged until I get over my dots. They're my kiss dots. I mean, I might would take a small scalp if we come up to about mid of that candle, which is over those previous dots. But I would like to have confirmation with my cloud, with my lines on my cloud starting to turn up. I'd be looking for the Hane lines, some confirmation from the Hane lines in Ichimoku. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Setting up with a squeeze right here. That's coming from our B4 indicator. Let's see if we're going to get a change in the direction or a continuation here. If it's a change in direction, it's going to be a Kijunsen bounce. me see what it's doing internally here. Yeah, we got some excited buyers in here. Sellers right here. Boom, but it's pushing. So we're right here pinned at VWAP here. Extended on the lower side. Squeezing. Chicow still above candles. Looking for the bullish here in Ichimoku wise.
Order submitted. Order filled.
So I use my buy chart there with our Pro Trader. Really makes it easy to put an order down. Again, guys, that was discretionary. I was going to get off here, but can't help myself. It would have been safer to wait till we closed above that Tankinson, because that Tankinson is dynamic support and resistance. Support here with the Keatonson, resistance with the Tankinson right now. But let's see. It may have been too early to hop in. Guys, everything we are doing is for educational purposes only. I want to remind you of that. There's nothing better in the market than a risk-free opportunity. I had a chance to lock in here and get a risk-free opportunity, so there we are.
Stub filled.
And if I didn't lock that in, then I'd be concerned right now. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. Just wanted to show you guys the system again here. Be sure to check out our website, b4signals.com. get your hands on our system, guys. Hey, look, we appreciate you. Y'all have a great day.